G'day folks, Mad Aussie here and welcome to the Aussie Report. In this episode we're going to take a look at Speaker's Corner and their celebration of 150 years. So for those who don't know, Speaker's Corner is simply a park in the United Kingdom, more than likely in London somewhere, and they've designated it Speaker's Corner and they go there and have free speech conversations. So what they'll do is take along a short stool or a little stepladder or something to raise himself above the crowd and simply stand on it and start speaking whatever they like. The crowd will either choose to engage, listen, walk away, heckle, whatever they like. And so this has been going on for 150 years now. They've just had their celebration. I think they meet up every Sunday. It's quite regular. I also think that these things would be beneficial in other countries around the world, especially here in Australia, in light of what's been happening lately and the erosion of free speech everywhere. So we could set one up in each city, country towns even, and just go to a local park, start speaking and see if you can gather a crowd. Perhaps if you've already got followers on Facebook or YouTube or something that you can invite along to initialize a crowd, that'd be even better. And then other people might come along and join in. And hopefully again next week somebody will bring along their own little stepladder and get up and start speaking themselves. So I've got a little video here for you of their celebration of 150 years. This is just a short clip of a couple of speakers that they've got that came up. And yeah, please like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll catch you guys on the next episode.
But the most important thing, I think, is that teachers in our schools should bring their pupils to this place to explain to them the importance of it, because we are now in a situation where there are many young people who don't even believe in free speech anymore. This is a new development. In the past, many of us in the past used to argue about free speech, and it was quite easy because you had the free speech absolutists and you have people saying, oh yes, I agree with it, but it's got limitations. Now we're having to argue with people who don't even believe in the concept. And unfortunately,
like
that is
Google
many
and
don't
Facebook
understand
and
the
that lot.
concept. They haven't been
And
taught
the government
concept.
agents of the COVID dictatorship.
It is incredibly important, therefore, that our teachers, if that's possible, bring kids to this place, and that we have to make sure that the younger generation actually realise that free speech is the very basis of the society in which they live. So that's all I'm going to say. Thank you very much, Steve Faulkner, and thank you for inviting me along. Great event. Thank you.
It might be worth reminding everyone. It might be worth reminding everyone of the words. I think the well-known words that the judge said in the famous Redmond Bate v. Department for Public Prosecutions case, which is, and I quote, "Free speech includes not only the inoffensive, but the irritating, the contentious, the eccentric, the heretical, the unwelcome and the provocative, provided it does not tend to provoke violence. Freedom only to speak inoffensively is not worth having," and that's something we should remember. But I wanted to follow up on something Peter said, which is he's absolutely right. Young people aren't nearly as passionate about free speech as they should be. They don't realise why it should be important to them and not just us. And one of the reasons, I think, underpins the reason why Hatu Tash was arrested yesterday. This view that if you allow too much free speech, it endangers historically disadvantaged, vulnerable groups. That there's a direct conflict between the right to free speech and the safety, the emotional well-being of historically disadvantaged groups. This, I think, is why young people are suspicious about free speech. They think it's only something that benefits the privileged, the elite, male, pale and stale conservatives, not historically oppressed, vulnerable, disadvantaged groups. And I just wanted to address what I think is a huge canon. That's just not true. It's historically ignorant. The reason the suffragettes were able to fight for votes for women was because of free speech. The reason the Chartists were able to organise and fight for votes for working
They
men
won their free
was because they
speech.
were exercising their free speech. The reason the gay rights movement in the 1970s in America was able to get off the ground was because of their First Amendment rights. The reason for the civil rights movement, without the First Amendment protections in America defended by the American Civil Liberties Union, the civil rights movement wouldn't have been able to organise, to march, to protest. That's why the leaders of the civil rights movements, including Martin Luther King, were such passionate defenders of free speech. Free speech has been essential for the success of anti-colonial movements in India and South Africa. That's why Gandhi and Nelson Mandela were such passionate defenders of free speech. The idea that free speech is in any way the enemy of historically disadvantaged, oppressed people is the complete opposite of the truth. Without free speech, tons of people wouldn't have the rights they have today. Yes, those rights are under threat. Yes, we need to do more to defend them. Free speech has probably never been in greater jeopardy. But we need to nail this canard that free speech is in some way the enemy of oppressed people, that vulnerable people need to be protected from hurty words. That is nonsense. Free speech is the friend of the disadvantaged. Free speech and social justice go hand in hand. They're not in any way. Anyway, thank you for coming, and it's great to be here. I look forward to hearing all you have to say. Who's next?
Put Barry on.
I say, take to the beach. If we have a climate lockdown in the UK, take to the beach. Take to the beach. Take to the beach. Take to the beach. And I repeat, it's with great sadness I note what my brother has done, and I challenge him to the debate. And I just want to say one thing at the end. If this is now a summer of discontent for the great struggle against the World Economic Forum, which wants to impose a new world government, and it's doing it by stealth, starting with the World Health Organization, which is actually an arm of world government in waiting. That is what it is. And we have to leave the WHO and in fact smash the World Economic Forum. The World Economic Forum must be destroyed. And specifically this summer we've got to break this propaganda movement.
Are being told that they have a gender identity and they female and you grow up and you're a woman, and the people who are saying that we're hateful to say that, you might think, oh, it's just a bit unkindness. What it has led to is children are being indoctrinated into this. Literally, children in primary schools are being told that they have a gender identity and they might feel like they're a boy because they like boys
without
things.
their parents' consent.
Or they might be a girl because they like girl things.
What are girl things or boy things?
Talking about their genitalia
Well,
in the first
what
place.
we thought we got rid of is those regressive definitions. I grew up thinking we'd rejected these regressive ideas that if you like dolls or you like
action men.
Yeah, so if you like action men,
But enough about my
if you
private
like
life.
playing rough games, that's boyish. And you can't do that if you're a girl. And if you like playing with dolls, oh, that's girly. So if you're a boy, you don't want to do that. I thought we got rid of that. Instead, they brought it back, but they made it worse. Because now, if you're a boy and you like playing with girly things, it doesn't mean you're a gay boy or effeminate. No, it means you're actually a girl. And the reason this is so damaging, and it doesn't just affect women, is because children are being told this. They're growing up to literally think that they were born in the wrong bodies. And the reason this matters...
They're being mutilated and sterilised.
The reason this matters is that they're being told that the answer to their problem of feeling that they're in the wrong body is that they can take hormones which will stop their bodies
Great British weather.
going through puberty. And I believed this nonsense. I thought, oh yes, that's kind. Because how awful to be in a wrong body and to go through puberty and you're trapped. I didn't know because I wasn't allowed to hear this because people like Posey were being condemned as right-wing, racist, whatever. What it means, when a child is put on puberty blockers, they are, the BBC and everybody was saying, oh, they're reversible, you can just stop them. It's a lie. When children are put on puberty blockers, they tend to stay on them. They literally don't go through puberty. This literally means they have nothing that should happen during puberty happens. They are sterilised. They are literally unable to ever have children. They lose their sexual function.
Sorry, dog.
This is lies. And I was at Bristol last Sunday. We had a Speaker's Corner event at Bristol. The police let us down and it's being looked into. We were literally up like this with people refusing to let us speak. We've got a big event in Brighton in September. We think the police will actually uphold our rights to free speech. I said to a police officer at Bristol, why are they being allowed to drown us out? And he said, well, we have to let everybody have their free speech. So that isn't the case. If people are blaring noise at you and you can't be heard, then that's you don't have free speech.
The devil himself in disguise. Remember what your brother Moses done? He denied Jesus 3 times. Like you denied him here before. 3 times.
You never read your Bible. You're so used to the vino. You haven't got even on the Bible.
In all fairness, I never even read the vino.
You're reading the vino.
What is the vino? What is it? Oh, a comic.
You still got your Bible in any shop. We can't do it. We can't do it.
That's why I've still got a tenner in my pocket. I never bought any vino. I want to be like you.
What did the dandy read?
I don't know any of them comics.
Oh, you do now. Come on.
I was in an orphanage and we were lucky to get a bowl of soup off of the fuckers. Never mind the fucking comic. And you know the orphanage I was in. You got a sex education and you got no fucking vino. There you go. There you go. You know what I'm on about then. You never seen the fucking vino there either. You seen plenty of red arse.
And you've been insulting them all day. You got to know Jesus if you want to go to heaven. And you need to know Jesus. You know it's Mary. And Mary's dead.
How do you think? You don't know
And you
who I know.
Peter. And he's dead.
I know a couple of Marys in the brothel down in Eroded.
And you'd been able to
And
read
they're
the
very
Bible.
nice girls.
And
I
they
learned
read
more
the
from
Bible
them.
to them. And you could learn at the same time. Because they don't teach you the Bible in Ireland.
I'm trying to tell
They teach
you.
you rubbish.
I just told you, I never got any education in Ireland. I got it when I came here, in the brothel down in Earl's Court. There was Mary, Angela, and what was the other one's name? She was a bit of an Indian girl.
Mary Magdalene.
That was her. That was her. I'm glad, here we go, look, oh, this old Mary Magdalene. She was the highest prostitute.
than you.
She was the biggest prostitute that ever lived.
You got a dirty mouth.
And Jesus Christ had sex with her.
You got a dirty mouth, man.
I don't know, what's dirty about sex?
No. Your mind is filthy. Your heart is dirty. You seem to have a
I'm only
wife.
telling him what I...
No, you're talking about yourself.
He said...
Mary Magdalene was a holy woman, holier than you.
She was a whore.
No, she
She was a whore.
No, she wasn't. Your mind is so twisted, it misrepresents words that are clear to a child.
She was a whore.
Listen to one. Because you got a dirty heart. He's telling you the truth. You're so used to listening to priests and liars. You don't know what the truth is about.
I never heard it from a priest.
Oh, yes, you did.
I heard it from a monk.
He was a priest.
He met a couple of Mary Magdalenes in his time
They
and
were
all.
ordained by the Pope.
I was
They were
confused
ordained
about
by
my
the Pope,
sexuality.
And the Pope was up the wall.
And he told me to go and find the lady of the night and she'll explain all the facts of life to me. What was I supposed to do when nobody had told me, in all fairness?
Ask God.
I was a simple little Irishman.
Read the Bible and you would have known.
Exactly.
It says in the Bible that Mary Magdalene was a prostitute. Ah, you got up there. The devil himself, that's not lie.
You're a liar.
That's not lie.
Okay.
Hold on and I Google
Mary
it.
Magdalene was
Where's
a
my phone?
woman that came to the Lord Jesus, was healed.
What's this?
Okay. And then what happened?
Technology.
She was one of the first people to see Jesus
Technology.
back from the dead.
Technology.
Okay? That's the privilege.
Can you tell me if Mary Magdalene was a prostitute? Yes or no?
I know you like to
She is a figure solid in mystery, portrayed for more than 2,000 years as a prostitute. I rest my case. Ah, she's the one. I don't know what she fucking done. I'm just telling you what it says. Object of variation. And even as Christ's wife,
Got a 50 now.
Christ's wife, there it is, out of the Bible itself. Have a good read of that tonight, sir. But the most enduring detail always her sin. Yet there is no reference to Mary Magdalene being a prostitute.
Oh, you're a liar, aren't you?
Oh, you see that?
Big liar.
I'm sure I can only say technology doesn't lie.
You
man.
told a big lie in front of a huge crowd and
Gosh,
speakers.
all them people are
You've
educated
been found
people.
out.
They can do the same thing as me, they can Google it.
Try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me.